I'm numb to the pain and hollow without.
Hello and welcome. This is the CSC B Stream, where we're going to bring in you all of the action of the Challenger Semifinals. My name is Fuffy. I'm joined by my, as per usual, lovely co-host Oma. And, well, we're going to be jumping into an exciting one, the clash of two titans here in this tier. It is the Hitmen taking on the Tilted Togglers, HG versus H4K, going head-to-head battle of the H franchises to see who comes on top and makes it to those grand finals. Oma, I'm real excited for this one.
Yeah, no, I think this is going to be one of, if not the best of three we will see all season between any team and challenger, even the entire league. I mean, I think it's going to be super competitive between both teams. Even just looking at stats on paper, these teams are almost 1-for-1 even. I mean, just running through it, you have Blitz. Top player is only second to Kando. You know, safety and traditions are almost dead even in rating. Lum and Dives line up pretty well. Thumper and J-Man are very close. And then you have Sabrina and Chili Eater. So almost 1-for-1, each player on each team has a counterpart on the other side. And so I think that, you know, on paper, this is going to be one of the best games we'll see all season.
Yeah, I like to highlight sort of the 4 stars coming into this one. Most teams, you imagine, 1-star player rising to the top, really sort of going all out, but these are the players that are all there at the top of the list, and 2 of them per team, which is just impressive. The I would say that these teams are. I'm kind of blanking for a moment. These teams both have these players at the top, like I said. But there's one player that stands out that I wanna sort of pivot to. I don't know how Kando is doing this. I don't know how Kando has a 1.56 over all of playoffs, the best of 3 that they played previously. I maybe you could shed some light on what it feels like to play against a player like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the number one goals for the Tilted Toggler is they are going to have to be on all fronts taking care of and being able to shut down Kando. I mean, they're a player that them being alive is an issue. Even if it's a 1v2, 1v3, 2v5, it doesn't matter. They're a player that they count for basically 3. They can equalize the playing field instantly. I mean, being on the receiving end of it during quarterfinals, I mean that they're such a problem to deal with. They have extremely sharp aim. Their positioning is fantastic, and even from a little bit of pugs and 10 minutes I played with them, their comms are fantastic as well. I mean, they are the whole package when you look at a good player for any tier. And talking to some other players, in CSC, I mean, I think Kando is one of those players that really benefits from playing in a team setting. You go look at their combine stats, and they were around a 1.2, which is nothing to scoff at. That's very impressive. But to see
Mm-hmm.
such a large increase going from combines to team play, which is something a lot of people struggle with, and we even had Kando on the podcast at one point. They had no team experience going into the CSC, so they're a player that their first time playing on a team was in this season on the Hitmen, and to see that their stats got even better once they were going against Team CS and playing in Team CS is just it's just a phenomenon. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to mention safety on the other side of it. A strong player, but more importantly for this head to head, safety was the first overall pick by Hacker Haven before Kando, who was second.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this might be a little bit of Kando wanting to. They've already proven themselves throughout the regular season, but they're still gonna want to prove that they deserved to be first overall after an interesting one where Hacker Haven decided to go with safety instead. Though I want to shift a little bit. Rating is important. The frags are important, but it's also important to focus on your support players. And there's 2 players that really stand out to me because there's another important stat. The essentially support rounds are rounds counted where you do enough support damage, whether through utility, getting assists, and so on. And these rounds by our lovely Statman Yeti have also been cataloged, and with 2.22 and or 0.22 and 0.24, we have Sabrina and Dives. Both of these players, Sabrina for the Hitmen, Dives for the Tilted Togglers, are coming in clutch, not when it comes to being that star player, but when it comes to supporting their stars. I know Sabrina, as the IGL, can really bring a lot to any team, but also shows it in the stats. And so, while this may be a battle of the Titans at the top, I think it's also a battle of all these players sort of playing a supporting role, but they've got to also sort of steal the spotlight from their own role as well and try to defeat each other as well. So it's a battle on all fronts here.
Yeah, I mean, I think another important thing that we can bring up is the IGLs on each side. You mentioned Sabrina; they're the IGL for the Hitmen, and I think that they're touted as a very respectable and a very strong in-game leader. Almost last season and this season, they brought 2 teams to playoffs, and last season they made it to grand finals, and this season they're looking strong enough to be on that road to even win the trophy. I mean, they build really strong teams. They are a player that, having played with them a little bit in ESCA, I mean, they are a very strong support player. They're willing to set up their team. They're going to bite the bullet. They're going to play with a FAMAS, play with a Galil, play with this SMG pistol to let their stars do their work. So someone like people like Kando and Traditions being on that team, I mean, they're in great hands. Now, I think what's interesting is the counterpart. When you go and look at Tilted Togglers, the IGL is actually safety. And so having your Opper as the IGL, we see it a little bit in Tier 1 CS. I do that, but it's interesting when you see a player that's calling, but still having the really strong impact that safety continues to have. I mean, their stats are nothing to scoff at. Very, very strong, 1.2 rating. They look great. And I think it's great. I mean, I think it's really it's a different view than a lot of teams have. But I think having your Opera as the even mid-rounding IGL, they see a lot. They know a lot of what's going on based on the angles they're posted on and what they want to peak, and playing around them and having the IGL kind of put themselves in a good position, and they know exactly what to call next after they do their job. I think that's just something. It's a complete 180 from the side of Hitman, and I think it's going to be interesting to see them go head to head.
Yeah, I know personally when I'm calling, it's all about setting up that op because it can have so much impact within a round. Perhaps that's why safety was first overall pick, because they're so versatile, bringing in those IGL skills. Either way, as the players are trickling into the server, I wanna ask now. I want to get specific predictions. I know this one, to me, it almost feels impossible to call.
Yeah,
So
I think this is going to be a
throw it
tough
your
game.
way first because I'm kind of scared. I want to see where you go with this one. Who do you think's taking it? How close do you think it'll be?
I mean, I think it's going to be a close series. I think that I guess we can also talk about maps while we're going at this. Our map pool for the maps that we have lined up for the night was Mirage first, picked by Tilted Togglers. Ancient picked second by Hitmen, and then the decider's Inferno. So we got Inferno as map 3. It's going to be a good series if we make it all the way through 3 maps. And personally, I think we're hitting all 3 maps. I'm gonna put my bets on the side of H4K. I really think that they're a strong team, and I think that if they did their preparations, and I think if they're ready to shut down Kando, I think it's gonna be damn near impossible for Hitmen to really bring themselves out of it. I mean, that's a player that they rely on super heavily. And even if Traditions is able to have a good game, I mean, safety can match them. I think that as long as Kando is in control, under control by Tilted Togglers, I mean, I think they have it. I think it's going to be a 2-1, get a hit all map, all 3 maps, maybe even at least I'm going to say at least 1 overtime. But yeah, it's going to be a great series no matter what. I'm very excited to cast this.
Yeah, I agree with you in that it's going to be close. I agree with all 3 maps. I even agree that I think that H4K is going to probably take it over the line, but I think there's no way they shut down Kando. I think H4K has to focus on their own strengths and just acknowledge that Kando's going to have 30 freaking frags on these maps. There's no way to shut down a player like that unless you have a system in place that I don't think they have, given that Blitz is such a new addition. A really strong player, a star player that they've brought in, who I think will be the X factor. I think if we go onto that 3rd map of Inferno, Blitz will be the thing that makes a difference, because when these 2 teams clashed in the regular season, H4K faltered, but that was before they had Blitz. And so now I think that's what's going to propel them over the line in map 3, but I think it's going to be close all the way, and Kando's going to be fragging out of his mind the whole time.
Yeah, I respect that opinion. I mean, I think looking past the players, looking at a little bit more of just the whole team aspect, you're looking at pistol rounds easily in favor of Hitmen. 0.62, which is tied for the best in the tier, only other with Kitsune's. And Tilted Togglers are 0.42 for pistols. So it's going to be a bit harder for them. It'll be interesting to see what happens. And then the same thing with Tilted Togglers. They also have some of the lowest effective flashes per round. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But it looks like we're going to get the game started. Knife rounds finishing up and ready to get this best of 3 going.
Yeah, best of 3. So with these first 2 maps, they already have their sides locked in. I can go ahead and check on those. Hitmen are going to be starting T side here on this map of Mirage, which is an interesting choice. Most teams elect to look at that CT side first. So perhaps the Hitmen sort of want to come out and just set the pace here in this one, beginning on T.
Yeah, I mean, from personal experience, in both of my best of 3s I played against them, they eliminated us last season and this season in playoffs, unfortunately. But they've picked T-side every single time. They are a T-sided team. When you look at their stats, it's actually kind of ridiculous. They have a 0.65 T round win percentage, which is, I think, far and above the best in the entire tier and maybe even the entire league. It's ridiculous. They are such a strong T-sided team. Being on the receiving end of it is not fun. It's just they're a team that is super dominant on their T-sides, and I think it, like we've talked about, it goes off of the back of Sabrina, what they're able to call, the openings that Kando Traditions are able to get. I think it's going to be, I think Tilted Togglers are really going to need to shut it down quick and get off on the right foot forward.
In my opinion, it all comes down to shutting down Traditions, because I actually played Hitmen on this very map of Mirage, and that's where we took a dub with a brand new team. It was a chaotic game, but the one player that was missing from that game was Traditions. They weren't able to show up, and because of that presence not being there, their T-side struggled. And so when they had that T-side start, we shut them down and just sort of rolled through the rest of it. I think that here, if Traditions has the openings that they were missing when they played a team like us, they're going to be so much scarier, and it's going to be scary for the Tilted Togglers. Either way, I'm not feeling the fear. I'm feeling excited as we now jump into the pistol round. Tilted Togglers on the CT side of their own map pick of Mirage, while the Hitmen elected to start T and are electing to start here in a slower default. A smoke blooms there at top mid as two players come up underpass, and it's a gush onto Sabrina, and then they're dipping right back out. Damage, but not the bomb spotted. The bomb still is here up towards apps, and these players are just defaulting and now slipping out. There's a player who's gone all the way out A. That's Kando looking to find something, but instead they find nothing and walk away. 4 players towards jungle and con, while 1 is still jump spotting B. Now the smoke comes in. Now they spot it. They call the rotates in. Chili Eater, gotta be sweating this one. Gotta do something here on the side anchor, and well, that sure is something. A shot on the first and a headshot on the second. J-Man taking it down. Traditions at least comes back with 1 from the catwalk, but overwhelmed by all the CPs on the site. They've made the rotations, but Kando and Lum are still here to shut him down. 2v2 on the site. As the bomb's dropped in the middle, and Kando forward, thumper around empty pillar, and headshot out. Safety has to come in clutch. The IGL, the Opper, the first overall pick in the draft, and they shut down Kando the second. Lum last alive, and Safety's got the shot. Beautiful clutch. 1v2 has the kit for the defuse, and Tilted Togglers start off this map with a close one, but a dub.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about their pistol rounds being weaker. It did not look weak at all there. You know, Cheerleader able to take out the first 2 players, and they completely split Hitmen. That push was super split. You had J-Man and Sabrina going out first, and they got taken out immediately, untradeable. So they got off to the right, you know, like I said, off to the, you know, right foot forward. So good first round for them on the pistol.
Yeah, nice first round here. Mid control gonna be grabbed. Of course, Hitman gonna go for the buy back into this one. Gonna look to just steal all of this control away, and well, they've got it.
There's Blitz. Gonna get the opener. Only 10 HP left, but man, taking out Lum, getting a quick opener is nice.
Oh, but Traditions one back. Great shots out of Traditions and Kando. The 2 star players making it work just on the Galils here. Now they just sort of freeze. They're going to slow down the pace here in mid.
Yeah, it looks like Blitz is trying to cut off their rotate. They know.
Oh, the head. Barely didn't spot him. Traditions saw something, but neither could connect a bullet. They're just going to dip back into B. I'm not sure if this is a plan that they had to just try to abuse B, perhaps try to abuse Chili Eater. Either way, Chili Eater's gonna gobble him up. First one dead on the catwalk, and the rest coming through apps. The issue is that their back is turned now, and they're gonna have to turn back soon. Kando walking out. Doesn't see anything as Chili Eater clears towards mid. They've just vacated the site completely, and they are all over it. Hitmen will take it, and they'll take a bomb plant. Has to be another retake.
I think Chili Eater's just now realizing it's B.
Yeah, and now that they know this, the question is,
Oh, look how far pushed
who can get
Kando
the
is.
frags? Oh, Chili Eater, that's a good nade. That's good damage.
They clear him.
And Kando's gone. Yeah, they clear out perfectly, and now Chili Eater's gotten their own frag. Traditions in apps has to come up clutch. A dink, a frag. 2 more players up close to find. The first one's dead, and the last one has no HP to even challenge Blitz. A 1v3. Back-to-back clutches in these rounds. Left and right. Tilted Togglers and Hitmen tied 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 4K from Traditions. I was sure of it. Traditions left in the 1v3 there and not even finishing off Chili Eater after getting the dink, but not finishing the kill. I thought that it was going to fall apart, and they kept their cool, got all 3 kills, and, you know, fired back with a Hitman. It looks like the, you know, Force Buy Wars are going to continue on. And it looks like a little bit of A-ramp progression coming out of Dives and Thumper. Actually looks like, oh, Lum hears this and is calling them back, and I don't know if they know Traditions is in Palace, though. He's got such a good lurk.
Oh, they're thinking about it, but now running through Dives is dead, and that just means Thumper is going to press the cancel button. They dip back out of there. Hitmen have so many options. Sabrina, nerdy nade there. That's a CT smoke? Okay, that's a real nerdy nade, but as that lands, it's all a fake. It's all a ruse. Again, the 3rd round we're going to see end here on B. Chili Eater at Van just waiting for contact.
Oh, they should. It's a good thing they didn't call these rotates. I think Blitz heard the footsteps and knew not to leave B. Oh,
flashes. Do they clear it? Oh, they don't. But Chili Eater looks the wrong way. Shut down by Lum. Blitz is deleted on the arch. Safety's gone too. Just Thumper here in the market. Trusty MP9. Perhaps they could think to save. Perhaps they can go for some damage. But there's no way you're winning this 1v5. I know we've seen 2 clutches in a row, but it's not going to be 3 here. Hitmen, they finally sort of seize control of the Force Buy Wars.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna get that 3rd round. You know, gonna force an eco into the Tilted Togglers, and I mean, I think that was a really good way that they played out the clock. They showed some presence a little bit towards the A, then they kind of went dead silent. Sabrina was in underpass, but yeah, I mean, this is a team where they're gonna play very slowly until they decide to finally make an exec. So it makes sense that the Tilted Togglers didn't call any rotates. I mean, they kind of knew that they would be, you know, they could be anywhere at that point. So Thumper's only gonna get 1 more. and they're going to go down. So it's no guns going on into the next round for Tilted Togglers. They really do have to take this eco.
Yeah, just gonna be a full-on eco. Might as well. You can afford to sort of save in these rounds to try to build up. It's really gonna be about sort of this mid-half streak who can get it going. Right now, the Hitmen are the ones looking to build up momentum. Smoke's coming into mid, but it's Tilted Togglers who are running it straight up. A bunch of pistols here for Kando to meet and to spray down them and Lum together. Combined for 4, and the 5th is an easy cleanup for J-Man. It's a nice quick round. Get that one out of the way to get to the exciting gun rounds. Though a gun round where unless safety goes glass cannon, there's not going to be an op on the side of the Tilted Togglers. And yeah, they're just going to decide to get up that M4. Interesting that they're all even going for A4s.
I'd love to see it.
This worries me because of their economy, the util that they now don't have because of that.
I mean, their util isn't horrible. Thumper is almost on max nades. Chillleader has a few, and I mean, yeah, you have Dibes. Dibes and safety are both a little low, but it's not horrible. Blitz though, very fast apps aggression.
That they got a deep smoke and molly.
Yeah, the deep smoke helped him get all this presence here. They have to wait this out.
Prepped for this.
And Chili Eater's next to them. He's gonna resmoke it. This is so much map control. I mean, they're just. I'm surprised that the rest of the CTs aren't at least taking a look in other places to try to capitalize on how much pushback they've given. But
I think really at this moment, this is the perfect adaptation. B had been abused so much. Now they say, hey, we're going to cut off your one avenue into the site that you've been using. A flash is close. He misses, and J-Man doesn't clear close, but Kando has a good trade. Luckily enough, Blitz is still nearby. It's going to come tuck in below as they run out into the site. Kando's down, and Kando, a great entry. They've gotten that trade, and now the entry secure via site. Mollies to block off anyone from rotating
everywhere.
in. The market is on flipping fire. HEs, oh, this is painful. This is where you can sort of see that utility difference, the Hitmen economy that they built up by killing all those pistol players. Coming in clutch for him, but the Tilted Togglers want to try to get a clutch out of this one. Thumper, each getting some, but now it's only Dives. Has one, but doesn't realize Lum's up close, and so Lum will shut him down with the A1S, and the Hitmen keep going and throw the Tilted Togglers onto another weird save or partial.
Yeah, there's a really good try from Dibes. Thumper getting one, and then Dibes getting a few more, and almost got a clutch. Getting it down into the 1v1. But I mean, yeah, all that utility, like they just were. I mean, that's just a round where Hitman just took those duels. It didn't matter what happened. They took all of those fights, and they didn't have to use hardly any util to even get on the site. So they had all those mollies and nades to just play post play. So it does look like we're seeing a bit of a more default play here from Hitman, which is different. Tradition's first one to get the opener. Blitz gets his head taken off on catwalk, and that's mid control for the Hitmen.
Blitz's aggressive openings haven't really been able to find anything. That being said, this round, it's a pistol. Not too much to worry about. That's a long-range shot with a 5.7. Kando, though, can be able to swing and trade. There's a player close A main that they're not clearing, so Dives has a little bit of a timing here. Kando's going to go up towards CT, but Dives fires a little bit early, so Lum's able to pull out his gun and take him down. This is where it should just be a little cleanup. Gun.
That was a good try from some of the pistols,
maybe they can recover it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought getting one back on pistols, putting it back into a 4v4, especially killing one of the mid players would have been strong. But I think Dives needed to get at least one of those players on A for it to be competitive here. Him not getting either really kind of screwed them over.
Yeah, Dives sort of had to be the one to get frags and draw attention there for the rest of their teammates, because as soon as Dives goes down, the rest are too far away to make their pistols work at range. Though now, at range, we've got the M4s, we've got the op coming out. This is the real round. This is the test for the Tilted Togglers to see whether they'll buckle to the Hitmen's pressure. Sabrina dropping in that top mid smoke. 3 players running up, trust in their IGL over towards mid, and Chili Eater dropping out, looking to get a little bit aggressive. Up here bottom mid, just holding, not going to get cleared. Tag onto Lum. The thing is, now they're out in the open. Kando swings wide, a good frag for them. And that's another opening. That's, again, mid-control found.
Yeah, I mean, this is, yet again, opening goes to Hitmen. And, I mean, I think this is where they need to... they made the adaptation, shut down the B play early, or at least put a stop, put a delay into the B play a few rounds ago. And since then, the Hitmen realized, okay, you want to play B? We're gonna play more towards mid. And they have shown a lot of mid presence since. I think that this is another adaptation that Hits to Togglers are gonna need to start shutting down quickly, otherwise it's gonna get out of hand. Oh, miss from Traditions. Rare,
moved a little bit on that one. That was just inaccuracy.
Yeah, looks like Blitz is gonna come in
Top
here.
con smoke. It misses? Or no, it lands within connector. Excuse me.
Blitz hears all this on cat.
Oh, Blitz has one. A4, 0-2, not 3. That was so crucial. Safety's attention is drawn away, but they found the frag on the op and realized where the other one is. Sabrina tags so low, Safety just decides to back off. Playing it smart, playing it safe. Even has an HE to dunk in. Sabrina just has to back up. Bomb down towards Catwalk. And Dives has read it perfectly.
Strong.
He's read this entire situation, realizes that Traditions, who is in Palace, has to come this direction, so he swings out and has the kill. Dives guns him down, and it's only Sabrina, low HP, coming into the site, and Safety has that op shot. Safety and Blitz, the 2-star players, come in key to win that crucial first gun for the Tilted Togglers.
See, that's the bounty kill potential that both of those players can show, and we get to a good gun round. Everybody has utility, and that's the positioning that Blitz just has. He's a player. He's, a lot of people, and even myself, will say he's a very running, very aim-heavy player. Doesn't think a whole lot, but his positioning is phenomenal. And I think that's one of those rounds where his positioning gets him that multi-kill. It's like a little bit of more mid default. It's like, the nade stack!
Triple nades.
Oh,
that's a lot of damage.
That is really scary. That could have ended in a death, but Safety only knocked down to 50 HP. I say only, but still keeping it even in a 5v5 is definitely good here. Only 30 seconds in, so.
I think modern day players know not to just sit in a window and challenge when the top mid smokes up, because nades, spams, double peaks, all kind of crazy stuff can happen. So Safety smartly dropped a molly and then pulled back from window and doesn't die to the triple nades. Keeps their life, and with an opper, all you need is 1 HP to make a real big impact. They've got Palace on lock, but no players are there. Instead, it's a default with 1 A main, 2 mid, and 2 apps, and the apps players now are the ones sort of creeping up for contact. Can see Kando there looking for a fight onto someone. But it's Blitz who's in a unique boosted position. I don't know if Kando will clear this on the slow crawl.
Oh, I doubt it. But this is a contact play. Bomb is still outside of apps, so this doesn't immediately scream an exec, even if they makes contact here. But it looks like they're waiting.
Wait.
Oh, they are waiting here.
Oh, a lineup, but Kando, perhaps not even meaning to clear it, but easily hits the flick. Chili here, stuck up close, drops a smoke, but getting surrounded and overwhelmed. J-Man has the frag and cat control. Safety is here close, but mollied out. Has to back on out of there, and this should be a save. Tilted Togglers have no business trying to come into this site.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a round where they have to save this. I mean, like we said earlier, that damage on a Safety almost led to him dying to that molly, but they just needed to keep him alive, and at least keeping an op and an M4 going into the next is not horrible. That should, with the money on dives, he can drop one forward, and maybe another MP9 buy for the other player. That should lead to them getting a decent buy-in with some utility.
It should, but they don't want to let this. Sabrina runs forward, dies, but the rest of these players continue the chase. J-Man sneaking around, gonna get the SMG out of there. Dives peeks back for the trade, and now they just stay alive. Now they just get to hold on to these weapons. Just as you pointed out, that op, that M4, the 2 key guns. Dives can even drop over another rifle.
Yeah, Safety can drop over a FAMAS and kind of take a hit on some utility, or drop over an SMG and get full utility. And it looks like they're taking a little bit of time to think about what to do here. And they, like I said, FAMAS buy-in for Blitz, gonna get everybody almost full utility.
I like this pace.
But this is different. This is a fast stage, and they have not done this yet. But Thumper on the MP9 tags up with dives. The 2 players are going to work together to take out Lum, and here comes the A hit. All of them out of A main. Kando gets a double entry on the dives and Thumper. That is some crazy shooting. Gonna set up for the jungle molly. Safety is already weak again from utility. They just, get smoked out, but oh man, that entry from Kando is crazy to get those 2 back.
Yeah, I was worried that the spacing was a little bit off. That they'd sort of given up the game early by throwing all that util, sending Lum out. And then once Lum went down, no one was there for the trade. But Kando doesn't need a freaking trade. Kando just gets 2 and now a 3rd in this round, shutting down the Blitz. Sabrina On to Chili Eater there at CT, and Safety's op has just got to try to duck out and play for the next round. The issue is that they're getting chased down. Hiding up close, a nice little no-scope there.
Oh, but they're going to hunt this.
They're just going to stay tucked, yeah. How do they get out of here? Luckily, no one's coming from CT, so they can tuck into market.
I think the money on the side of Hitmen is weak enough where I say that when 2 players are at 10K, but I don't think they want to keep feeding Safety more kills. I mean, I think it's just that could be the little ego boost, but I mean, hey, we're gonna finally see attack. I was gonna say that if they aren't gonna shut down anything, they have to take a break here, calm down a little bit, talk it out, and do something different. I mean, I think that the play that they had with the 2 players on default was not a bad setup. I really truly think that round was on the back of Kando. I mean, that double entry with how fast that happened, that's either spray transfer or just really quick taps. I mean, that's just the star player doing their thing. It's crazy. Look at the scoreboard, 198 ADR going 17-5. That is just ridiculous. Like, who does that? Who does that? But I mean,
Kando does that.
It does look like they're gonna have a full buy-in for the CTs. You know, Chili Eater gonna take the hit on a FAMAS for some utility. But
Yep. Classic B anchor.
Oh, there's Sabrina's nades. Ooh. Oh, that was on a different player. Where was that? Where did Safety take that damage at?
Safety took a
Oh, I think it was a knife from a teammate. I think it was I think it was like a left click in the back from a teammate.
That's got to be it, because I don't know how else Safety takes damage unless they perhaps missed an HE nade or something.
I don't know.
Either way, mid-control window smoke misses. Lum just creeping up close, looking for contact onto someone. Blitz not peeking out. Looking a little bit close as now the smoke fades. And this is likely first contact of the round. No, instead it's Safety up there in apartments, grabs the pick and falls back. When they realized B was a weakness, they said, hey, let's just put Safety here. Molly out for the balcony. Sabrina. Oh, I was going to be smart not to peek into that, but shows a little shoulder. Luckily still survives. And now they reroute.
They're going to take the op away as well, make sure that they can get a double op CT setup going for the tilted togglers, which, I mean, I think it's really expensive. It's way too expensive for them to commit to it now, but if they were gifted a second op, I definitely think that that's a way to shut down Hitmen with how they're playing. I think having an op on each site, being able to quickly play towards mid is very, very advantageous. Just looks like Safety's actually going to take a little bit of mid control right now. Oh,
I love the reposition.
But Dibes, Dibes is going to get the kill and get out. Untraded. Sabrina's just walking a little too slow, but Thumper gets another one back on a J-Man. It looks like the CTs are finally getting some advantage here in the 5v3. Sabrina, caught out. Oh, but still gets one on a Safety.
Good headshot.
Looks like
that's a solid frag. Oh no, Kando's alive. Oh no, this is getting scary.
Oh, but look at the time.
Luckily, it's an underbound player. Thumper with one traded out.
There's no time.
Yeah, no time at all. Sabrina just gonna tuck sandwich, look to save this one. Blitz though, gonna frag him out. Doesn't matter too much given just how rich these tees are. Kando Traditions able to drop over a weapon each at least. That round was chaotic. I love the reposition from Safety. Making that B contact, scaring them away, and then coming to A. It doesn't work out because Sabrina just hits a sick headshot. Kando seemed like they might be able to clutch that one out, but the time got too low and they didn't clear the underbound player. This time they're coming out fast, and Lum will find that player under balk. That's Dibes, gets naded back. So Thumper at least able to stay alive. They get a lot of useful in a reaction. The tees are over towards mid, fighting Blitz, and Blitz is firing back straight into the headshot onto Kando, and now dips out of there. This round's looking very doable for the Tilted Togglers, as now Traditions realizes that the Hitmen need something back, and so they're slow crawling out with an op on A as their teammates look to split up mid. Thumper, a flash out, gonna peek close, confirm that there is an opper here at Tetris, so Traditions just backs on out of there. And now they reset. They figure out what their next plan of attack's gonna be, and my guess is they're either gonna run up Con, or, oh no, they are. Traditions is ducking back into Palace. This is gonna end here on A. A lot of it rests on Safety, trying to stop these 2 players from splitting through jungle.
Oh no, the timing. This could be so bad. The thing is, Thumper has the right idea. They are only holding this Palace peak. So this is not a bad play from Thumper. They are ready for Traditions. They know they're there. Oh, but Traditions actually takes out Safety. And they get the second on the Thumper!
So good! Traditions covering his teammates coming out and then clearing the site, doing all the work on their own, getting their team into a 3v2. This was a 3v4 beforehand. So now Blitz comes up connector. They got that early frag into mid, and they want to find something back into this one. Don't want to give it up just yet. Not the team to call jam time early. But J-Man's here in jungle, and Traditions is holding on to stairs.
Looks like the save is getting called.
Now they're going to just
Blitz
back
is
off.
so low. You have to back off. 12 HP. I mean, he had to hit an instant headshot on a J-Man and hopefully not get traded immediately if they wanted to keep that going. And it looks like they don't even know about Chili Eater, unless Sabrina's going to check it.
Okay, there's one. No way they expect the player behind. Blitz will save an A4, and that is all that they will hold on to. 8 rounds for the Hitmen here. Looking fiery. Starting off on this T side. They really have set the pace of this game. And even when they're behind, like in that last round, players like Traditions pull out the miracle round to save them. Beautiful work on that AWP. As now it's just pistols and Blitz's M4.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from the side of Hitmen. You know, get into those close situations. You've had Kando and now Traditions. You know, I think that's the first round Traditions really kind of made their name. But Lum up close against this F5-7, and Thumper actually best them, and that was the lurk. I mean, Lum is always going to be the lurk, almost always by themselves, and Thumper shuts it down, and that causes
they're pulling the trigger on the B hit.
Oh, but Blitz
that's
gets
where Blitz
there.
is. Yeah, that's where Blitz lies in wait. But luckily, Kando's tapped out Cheerleader. The site is theirs. 2 versus 3 for them to try to pull out of the hat. Kando still alive with 2 frags already. J-Man is here as well. They're going to drop a molly in towards market, and Kando is going to phase. No, he's not going to phase into that smoke. Just going to start playing it safe, holding the catwalk push while J-Man has apps. Safety's creeped up. Will he see him off of the head? Not yet. Safety does and headshots him, but Kando has another. This would be an ace clutch, and he's already got 4. Only Safety left up alive here on the van. A familiar 1v1 to this pistol round. Creeping close while Kando just shows the gun barrel, dropping a spray, knows all he has to do is stall. Safety doesn't have a kit, and Kando has won this out. Now it's all about finding the ace. Safety's gonna back away, but Kando doesn't care about the ace. They care about the round. Kando, a beautiful 4K to get 9 on the board for Hitmen, just as it was looking like Tilted Togglers had a lifeline in a potential eco steal. Kando pulls another magic trick out of the hat.
I thought that Blitz getting 2 there when they most definitely should have gotten only 1, if that. Getting a second one there, I thought that was the round. But Kando's heroic showings is just gonna come out again. Gonna get 4 kills to bring that round out of nowhere. That should have been an eco for the Tilted Togglers. It would have been crazy to see. It could have been, but they couldn't do it. Does look like seeing a bit more of an A setup here though.
Hey, nade's landing.
Oh, but they're bringing over all the rotates. There's 3 players here to defend this.
The issue is that the one site player is isolated. Now the deep smoke comes in so they can push through, and this site player and Thumper has 2 Blitz, a double up as well. This is looking more like it. A good hold here on the site. Now the real question is, can you avoid letting Traditions do any damage, because their economy's not in a great spot. If their economy goes down, it could be another one of these moments where Tilted Togglers win a round and then lose it right back. Gun barrel spotted up over default here for Traditions. They're going to see the player peek out. Blitz with his back turned, fragged down. But now these 2 players up close should be good. But oh, Traditions! You cannot do that! Safety finally shuts him down, but so much damage to the economy. And Tilted Togglers sweating coming into round 14.
Safety can drop at least 1 here and if a Moss if needed, but that 3rd shot, the second one was snappy, the 3rd one onto the sandwich player, I don't even know who it was, but they had the read on the jungle peak. If Traditions was a little bit faster against Safety, that could have been another heroic play from the side of Hitmen. But thankfully, another round is going to go to the side of Tilted Togglers, but at 4-9 here, last 2 rounds, and Hitmen, to make sure they get a good full buy on the last round of the half, they're going to opt for the pistol buy, or just the pistol play here, and they're just setting up for a good old AXX here on Mirage.
They've been playing it into A a lot, but this round to me almost feels like conditioning. Feels like Sabrina just wants to feel out this A site, let him know that there's a lot of pressure that can be applied here, and then after this, they have the rest of the map to play with. Well, the Tilted Togglers have to respect these kind of executes. Sprinting on out now, Jumper's playing Underbound. That M4 can only find one,
no.
and Kando with a toe onto Dibes through the smoke. Blitz only gets one. The rest of these players are here. Chili Eater cleans it up, but suddenly it's a 1v1. Safety and J-Man. Safety does have an op. But J-Man's up close. He doesn't realize it. He fires off a shot. The player here, but ammo is low. Runs in for the knife, and he has it! J-Man with the J-Man difference! 10 on the board for Hitmen. They win it out with just the pistols. And you better call a timeout after that round.
That is just stolen away. That's revenge. Tilted Togglers almost ecoed Hitmen themselves, and Hitmen show what a real eco looks like. J-Man, what can't J-Man do? That is just ridiculous. Gonna turn it around, gonna get a 3K and the knife to finish it off. That is some heroics. I talked about it. We haven't talked about it yet, but J-Man is that big X factor for this team. J-Man's that player, a bit of more average stats, 0.95 rating, nothing on paper that's special, but even going against them and seeing them in the server, it's a player that they're the X factor. They can make plays like that happen when they need it.
Oh my god. That was something to behold. Safety loses out that 1v1 to a knife. And now the Hitmen just spread it out for a default. The A exec's been working, the B contact's been working, everything going their way, but now something's not. Traditions has lost the opening to Safety. They're not going to let that 1v1 get him down. Find a good kill there. And Tilted Togglers in a good spot to try to convert. If they get this round on the board, they win the pistol. I'd say anything's really possible. Mirage is one of the maps that's more even when it comes to that CT and T side.
I would agree, but I mean, like I said, Hitmen have the best T rating in the entire tier. I looked at the stats. The only team that's better than them at their T side rounds is going to be the Leopards from Contender, the champions. So I mean, it is championship form having strong T sides, and Hitmen. I mean, they're looking for their 11th here, which could backfire. Maybe see a bit of a Zonix law, but I'm not going to say any. Not going to expect it to happen. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But
you never expect the Zonix law, even though it always seems to happen. Right now, though, it's another B contact. And before, where Safety was able to shut it down, now it's Chili Eater up close. And Kando's slowly clearing these angles. The star player walking forward. J-Man as well. Contact onto underpass. This draws some attention as Kando comes forward. And Chili Eater does a great job to shut down that star. As well is gone, and Chili Eater can back up into the site. Bomb has to be recovered. Sabrina's looking to do so. And as they scoop it up, they're now coming here into B. Entry onto Chili Eater, but there's 2 rotates who've come in. 8 seconds left on the clock, and they're just going to stick it in a smoke. Bomb going down. They're going to get it down, and it's a 2v3. This round is suddenly possible because now it's all about frags. Well, that's 1 found for Thumper, and it's only J-Man alive. Going to get cleared out, and the Tilted Togglers, at least they've got something, a little shred of hope to hold on to. A 5-10 half here on their map pick, as now they're going to have to try and bring it back on T.
I can say from experience last season and from just playing as this team, this is a team that they can look really strong. They come out full force, on every map. I mean, look at Kando, 23-10 after the first half. That is like a 1.5 KPR. That is just crazy. But I will say, I mean, in the past, this has been a team where their CT sides can be a bit weaker. So I think that Hitmen don't necessarily just walk off with this map for free. I mean, they choked a CT side Vertigo against my team in quarterfinals. They've done it before against other teams in regular season. I think it's that Tilted Togglers, they need to wake up and they need to make a difference here on their T side.
What does Tilted Togglers have prepared in this one? Have they been studying Mirage? We'll see it. Safety, the IGL, going to get a P250 and some util as they're coming over towards A. Looks like this is where they want to bring things. There's 3 players, but after a palace clear, they're going to rotate back, and this is just when the hit comes in. Smoke's
This
gonna be
timing.
landing top con, flash over, now they sprint out. Traditions is here in the site, looking to tap someone down, getting surrounded. Gooshed, they get one, but Blitz has two as well. A 3v3 ensues as this bomb can now go down. Jungle control was the aim of the game, but now they're coming to plant for CT, and this is a little bit risky. Shots traded back, and all the while, this flank is coming through. Bomb gonna be planted. Thumper with a good frag, but Kando swings wide, and they don't consider that flank one bit. Kando coming through from A main with a double, and so it's all on safety to come
but
up
do they
clutch,
know?
but the bomb's not planned for. Sabrina has a kit, Sabrina has a defuse, and Kando with another headshot. 26 and 10. Kando continues to frag, and that all-important pistol round, the tilted togglers can't get it, and this one starts to slip out of their grasp, Oma.
This is looking a little bit worrying for the side of tilted togglers. You know, they really needed to win a pistol there, but with the bomb plant and doing a little bit of damage, only letting 2 players live with armor, they're gonna be able to force back into the next. You know, an AK and Galil surrounded by SMGs, and it looks like they really want to hit this B site. The only one that's not there is Dives, gonna have the A lurk, and I mean, I think Dives needs to get. I think they need to get 1 kill here on A. They either need to kill J-Man, or if one of the con players goes back, he needs to get a pick, cause a rotate, cause some ruckus to let the rest of the squad go back and hit B site.
Oh, I think Kando wants to jiggle this. Oh, he does. He takes a couple bullets, makes contact. That. Not going to draw the rotates just yet, but Dives is going to call it quits for a moment. Now creeping back in, fires off a couple more bullets. But I think they're going to start to realize this. Smoke on A main means that no possible A hit can come in, but it's actually B that's the plan of attack. Double smokes landing on the arches, one flying in towards the window, nades over top, but the PP Bison up close. 2 kills on it. Chili Eater finally has a trade, but now the rotates have come in. No way they're going to let this bomb plant go down. Lum has that kill, and safety on the site can do nothing. Dives is finally wrapped all the way around, but this will be a 1v4 for the ages. First one on the spray, but Traditions peeks up with the scout, and Hitmen, a 12th on the board. They're looking to just steamroll this map in the second half.
I mean, this is like I keep saying, this is looking super worrying. I think the play here for Tilted Togglers is I think that they maybe take a half buy, get some eco, and they could buy back into the next at 5-13 or 6-12 if they win this round on the pistols. I mean, we've seen one round where pistols were able to take it. So, oh, I know what Traditions is doing. Traditions is trying to do the Munacy one way. Oh, that Molotov is disgusting. But the only one that's there is going to be Thumper. Gonna get the final shot after Lum tags them up, and these pistols, they need a group here. I don't think that being spread out on a pistol round is gonna do them any favors. I lied. Safety gonna take off Tradition's head. Doesn't even need the op, and the Palace to Jungle Peak is still gonna work. Chili Eater up close drops Lum. That's a second kill. It's a 4v3 for the Tilted Togglers. This is exactly what you needed in eco. Get some guns away from the Hitmen. Force some rotates. Force them to make some gambles. And they're grouping up. They want to collapse on the A site here. That means it's at best a 4v2 in favor of the Tilted Togglers. Kando with the AK needs some heroics here.
Oh,
but
that's
safety!
beautiful. Safety 1, safety 2. Kando has a double up, but safety able to scoop up a gun, smoke off top con. Sabrina left up with only an SMG. Luckily, they're up against unarmored players. Just waiting here, gonna drop down connector. If there's any kind of round that'll get you some momentum, it's a round like this. A round with Deagles, a round to maintain hope for the Tilted Togglers. Nades flying through, safety and blitz, playing up close. They're playing a situation, a setup where they just want to trade. And will Sabrina be able to find him out? Gun in hand, but now there's no way, there's no time. Blitz runs him down. It's a frag, but safety trades a 4K in the round. That was an amazing round for those pistols.
I almost said something in the freeze time, and I almost said, safety, one of the stars of this team needs to come alive and have a round, and I didn't have to say it. The IGL takes it, bull by the horns, and they make it happen. The 3K with the Deagle, the first one on the Traditions was nice, and then getting the second one, oh man, clearing that underplayer without letting them get anything is just disgusting.
Now just don't get decode back. That's all that it's about here for the Togglers. Smoke top con, mid control gonna be theirs. There's a player here in connector though. They're gonna want to clear out. Blitz is looking for it. Turns their back at the wrong time, but That's a well-timed flash. Thumper has that frag. Sabrina spotted out towards Catwalk. And now it's just about picking a site to go into. It's going to be towards A. Safety with a flash over Con. They're going to come on up through it and find an empty A site. Just Kando here in Palace. I say just Kando, but Kando can do so much.
Oh.
And J-Man's already done something with one headshot on that Deagle. At least there's a player in towards ladder. Kando, though. Kando does it all. 2 frags with a player behind him, and why not get that headshot as well? Kando making it work. Kando! That is 4 frags, and that is a masterful performance as Kando has 32. 32 and 11 here, only in round 19.
That is exactly what could not have happened. You can't get Deco back, but I mean, I don't even think that H4K did anything wrong. I think that's just Kando doing their thing. That is just the Kando difference. I simply, there's not really much that you can do against it. When Kando is hitting shots like that, I don't really think they did anything wrong. I mean, obviously you can, poke holes, give you mistakes, but that is something to behold. That, I'm just speechless. I don't even know what to say after that. That is ridiculous. It does look like you see a bit more of an A spread on the default here. Some more focus over there. Bomb, you got Thumper and Safety hanging out over here. And looks like nothing's really happened in these first 30 seconds. Just some standard util trading. Sabrina jump spotting towards apps, but mid is fully taken by Hitmen. I think this is going to cause them to stack a site because they know no one's in mid currently. And I don't think Tilted Togglers have any intent in taking mid control. They're so gripped up for this A hit.
This part of this just feels like that hopeless feeling where you're like, well, we got to do something. Let's just pick a site. But what you really need is you need your individuals to come alive. You can't lose that hope. You need to keep fighting. It's only map 1 here. As nades rain in towards A. Kando drops a Molly Palace. Majority of them are A main. The smokes land, but it's nothing. They're just going to wait this out.
Oh, they're just delaying it. These rotates came over, but
they hope the rotates go back.
I don't think these rotates are going to go back because nothing was even shown over on the B site.
But Blitz is under. And Blitz makes contact and has a headshot. That is an opening, and that's a double. Blitz doing it all on their own. Just David left alive, can get one, but traded down. Now this bomb can get planted. There's an op from Traditions. And luckily, Dives limits them to only 2 frags. Comes in here to jungle. Should have Sabrina dead in the rights. Yeah, no way they clear that. Tilted Togglers have a 7th on the board. And now that they've broken this economy of the Hitmen, again, you've just got to beat the low buy. You've just got to focus up, play your own game, and keep it going. This comeback is very possible despite how insane some of these Hitmen players are. But it's not easy.
I mean, but I think that what you said, you need the individuals to step up, and you saw Blitz get that double entry, break open the site late round, making a difference, and that's what we need to be seeing from these different players on Tilted Togglers. Blitz has had their impact on a few rounds. Safety had the crazy deco play. Thumper's just having a strong game, but we need a little bit more from everybody here. I mean, I think that they need to hope. It does look like for Hitmen. Now, this is just me, but I think on Pistols on CT side, you should really just be stacking a site or pushing somewhere together. But they're more spread out, and I guess that Kando being on the 5-7 is a good enough reason to be spread out because that player alone is probably the A anchor and can just hold the sites. But some mid pressure. But
Sabrina's gonna find Safety with an 8 out. Safety is gonna go down to the USP. Sabrina ducks away before they can get traded out. And now
Kando 5-7.
It's a 3-on-4 Kando. Yeah, Kando's been able to get a kill with the 5-7 and pick up an AK and get another one. This is here close, has damage, clears the close player, but now Kando frags him down. It's only Dives left alive. Dives can slip out to be here because they know Kando's so far away. Gonna drop a smoke, bomb can be planted, but Kando up close is just gonna walk to window and jump right out. Swinging around the right, Dives drops a flash. Looks to reposition. Is now going to swing on the timing and doesn't clear close. Kando with another clutch, another multi-frag. This time, it's 4 kills. This time, it's Kando at 36 and 12. And it's the Hitmen up to 14.
This is just, I mean, like, we keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's Kando, 36 kills, still at minimum 2 rounds left in regulation if they win these next 2. And I think that Kando's gonna break 40 in regulation, and if it goes into overtime, if it goes into overtime, I'm thinking that he's breaking 50 if he needs to. I mean, this is just like, you can't even talk about the other individuals. Tradition's gonna get an opening, but like, I mean, it's just Kando, the heroics every single round. Though a fast mid play from the side of Tilted Togglers. Lum gonna still get one back in connector. Gonna get a second, drops the bomb.
No.
J-Man's there to assist, and that round falls apart immediately. They are just not ready for it. J-Man from Triple and Lum from Cat. It just falls apart. 1v5 for Dibes.
This just feels like it. This just feels like where the life fades from their eyes, where Dibes is gonna give it their all, but the GM, the one who put this team together in the first place, get a way out of this one, and the spray won't even connect enough bullets onto Lum. Lum frags him down. Traditions fires off a couple USP bullets in celebration because the Hitmen have reached match point. They have 8 rounds to try to close this one out. And I think they'll just need one here up against a weak buy of the Tilted Togglers. Mac 10, Deagle, Scout. This is scrappy. I think Tilted Togglers want to win this one. They want to make this round game more competitive, just to get some of that excitement for that next game, just to bring back a little bit of that fight. But we'll see. Dibes up close, makes contact onto J-Man, and J-Man just smartly backs out. This sort of anchor support player, you called him an X Factor because they're not usually in positions to frag, but they can find frags out of nowhere. And J-Man's just been doing what's been required of him in this game so far. Now backed up into Underpal. A-Exec lined up here for the Tilted Togglers. It's a question of when they go, and it's a question of what safety Scout can do. Holding Underpass, and they're actually going to walk back.
I mean, there's not really been a whole lot happening this first minute, and I mean, it's hard to really have a whole lot happening. I mean, Chill Eater has all of the utility and is still on a Glock. They do not have anything else. I mean, this is going to be Dibes, like we've said, the lurk. Maybe he gets his kill on J-Man. Maybe he gets another pick on the Traditions. I mean,
Dibes was crazy in combines.
And Dibes is pretty good.
I
pretty crazy in
particularly
playoffs.
remember a Deagle round on A Mirage, and Dibes also was a player to pop off in playoffs. We've seen that before a couple of times. As now they're gonna try to pop into this B site. Nades raining down. Player stuck towards jail as Sabrina Loves here on support. Now a headshot through. Only 2 left. Make it 1. Dibes again left on a lurk. And this is Hitmen closing out the map pick of the Tilted Togglers. A good shot from Dibes. Would make us think a little bit about this one, but with 12 seconds on the clock, I doubt they find anything more. Traditions with the final frag, and 16-7's the scoreline. Tilted Togglers, they've got to do a lot of thinking here before this next map, because that was a rough one on their pick, as now we look towards Ancient.
I mean, like we said, there's some crazy plays from Kando. I mean, this true heroics, 36 kills. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's crazy stuff. Now, last time quarterfinals, my team was able to take Hitman's own map pick, and I think we're gonna need Tilted Togglers to. We're gonna need to see them bounce back if they really want a shot going into map 3. But I think for now, take a little bit of a break as we go between maps, collect ourselves after seeing that slaughter, and yeah, we'll see you guys in a few.
Number figured out, a motive born in drought and brevity. And if I'm not the soul of your design,
here we find the rare bee anchor, thriving in his natural habitat, with nothing but the fresh air around him. He hears the communication of his various teammates, but does he really hear them?
Where are you? Rotate A!
But the bee anchor would not rotate. He preferred his cozy little spot here at the van. With cover from all sides and only one place to watch, the bee anchor lived a simple life. Sometimes, however, his legs would grow tired, so he would go sit on the bench. Although he lives a solemn life, the bee anchor is not devoid of cooperation. In a rare instance of team play, one of his teammates will assist him up onto the sight boxes. Once there, the bee anchor will not leave this elevated position for any reason. For if this is one of the rare rounds where he encounters terrorists, he must be ready for a fight. This, however, was not one such round, but it could happen soon. As flashes rain above from the apartments, the bee anchor grows nervous of this impending assault. But he steadies himself, pulling out his trusty Molotov. He shall stop this take in one grenade, one click of the mouse, or so he thinks. You see, things rarely go to plan here on the bee site. The terrorists were upon him, ready to deal the killing blow to their prey. However, the bee anchor had one more trick up his sleeve. He steadies his hand and reaches for that one fateful button.
I think they're B.
The A and mid players are fast, used to responding to new information. Just not fast enough. As his vision went white, he could start to see that place beyond. He wasn't scared. He knew his time had come. And as his corpse lay lifeless on the site, he reflected back on the memories he had in this little corner of the map, realizing it would soon be leveled by the terrorist bomb blast. It was a life well lived and time well spent. He wouldn't trade this for any other position. Because he wasn't good enough to play them.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We are getting back into things. You know, Tilted Togglers are they're gonna start on the CT side yet again. They chose to start on CT side. I mean, like we've seen with Hitmen starting T side, very common for them. They chose it on Mirage, and then got forced onto it on here on Ancient. Yeah, we're gonna have to see what Tilted Togglers can do here. They are gonna need to completely 180 from that last map. They need to go into it like it's a 0-0 match. Don't even think about Mirage. That map is done. Don't worry about it. Just go onto this map. You need to take the win here and force the map 3 to stay competitive. But
yeah, I call this like a clash of titans, like two very strong teams, a Titanic level threat in the form of the Tilted Togglers. But if they were the Titanic, Kando was the iceberg, because they just got absolutely shredded that last game. And as you said, they just have to reset, and we'll see if they're able to do it here in this first round.
looks like the first, we're going to see the pistol round, obviously, and hopefully, for Tilted Toggler's sake, they're going to get off to a good start. And it looks like some fast or some heavy A
I like this.
presence. I do like this. Already setting the tone. They're no longer afraid. They're not going to cower against the T's. They're setting the tone here, and they're going to set the pace. Though it looks like I think they've already figured this out. There's been nothing heard near mid, and these players are already pushed through A.
Oh, Blitz has to have eyes on mid though. Now they've got a teammate to cover it. They can turn back, and this is where the contact up and the exec nades come through. Blitz peeks up, finds a face full of players, just gonna fall on back, but Kando with a good headshot, open it up just like they closed down that last game. Kando is doing it all. Thumper's at least got one back coming up here through caves.
Safety also.
He found out Sabrina. Yeah,
Back
this sort
into
of
the
a
3v3.
reversal of the roles. Players through cave, players through main, and they're just coming up onto the site, clearing these angles and clearing them so well. But Kando is still alive, and now Kando's got a clutch. We've seen pistol clutches before, but this time the run and gun from Thumper. Safety sticking it behind the pillar, and Tilted Togglers win a pistol.
Yeah, they won the CT pistol last time, and they won the CT pistol again here. This is exactly what they need to end the streak of the Hitmen. Don't keep losing on to map 2. Just started off. Thumper with a great pistol round. Safety got 2 of their own, but that duo able to clean things up, and that's what you love to see. Gonna go ahead and get themselves a buy-in, and a force coming out of the Hitmen has got close, got a bomb plan, and yeah, we're gonna see some plays here from the Hitmen. Looks like
Oh,
a
they
more
take
B
you, Till?
presence.
Okay, I like this sort of fast control up here towards the window, but that's a good molly, and that's some good shots from Dives. Interestingly, Dives popped off 2 seasons ago when they won on an ancient map like this with a crazy comeback up against the Hitmen, actually.
Interesting. Okay.
This was the Zoomers v Hitmen previously, as we see Tilted Togglers
the infamous smash,
win this
right?
one. The infamous insane comeback on CT side Ancient, where Dibes was popping off. Dibes, there were even a few accusations thrown out there, and that was a part of the inspiration behind Hacker Haven, the franchise. And now we see Dibes here on Ancient in a playoffs game, and this is a playoffs game where they definitely have to come in clutch. We'll see if they can do it. Right now, it's in a rush into mid, and a spray down from Dibes 4K. Thought it was the ace for a second, but safety's going to pick up one as well. That's a good start.
Yeah, you speak of the man, and he comes alive. It's it's been some pretty, the first round was a good pistol round, second round was good competitive, and the third one obviously on full pistols, so it doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's nice to see that the Togglers are not letting themselves even falter in these rounds they should be winning. That was an issue they had on Mirage, and they're already starting to change it a bit here. But it does actually look like Sabrina has some good util. They're going to smoke off window and kind of stop any fast mid progression to collapse on their lane players on B. So that is a bit of an adaptation we've seen. Contact
Dives
made,
makes
but
contact. I like I'm not sure if they watched any demos or if this is just something they like to do, but taking deep A main control, it just limits the options so much for the Hitmen. And right now the option is really just to head in towards B or look mid. And so bombs coming around towards B lane as they just start to get ready, looking up into this. Kando peeks around, and of course it's Kando, so of course they find the headshot. A molly in towards the cubby. Smoke on short. But Blitz is still alive here.
That molly
Still
didn't hit
tucked
him.
in cubby. Yeah, the molly didn't spread properly, and so all these other players draw attention as Blitz gets jumped on by J-Man. Chili Eater has at least one back and dives over towards Long. His headshot out of there. These last 2 players so far away from this actual site getting smoked off. This is a tough one to even think about the retake.
oh, that spam.
Doesn't find it. Safety's got one. Safety spins. Safety's aware of everything, and that sets up Chili Eater to possibly clutch this one out, but they can't get the kill. It's not quick enough. You needed a headshot there under Traditions, because full HP Traditions gets that frag, and the Hitmen have their first round on the board. And now as the Tilted Togglers buy back in, we see who is going to take control early on in this one. Either of these teams, if they lose this one out, economy just a little bit in the dumps. So we'll see where it goes. Molly over towards mid. It's looking like early A main presence as the mid mollies are rained in for both sides and Tilted Togglers maintain control. But this time, they don't go for deep A main, and instead, it's going to be in the possession of the Hitmen.
Oh, that's really interesting. They group up, and I think they grouped up to make sure that they could trade out efficiently on the A player if they did aggress that round, and they didn't. And so they split off, go back into a 2-1-2 default, leaving Traditions here in mid. The other, Sabrina and Lum together on B. Sabrina even taking down out Thumper and Dives. Oh, Dives gotta get at least one here. He does. Lum goes down, but he knows Sabrina's there because that was not the player that got the kill onto Thumper. And it looks like we're still stalemated over on the B side, but look at that A hit. They're grouping up and ready to go. The only two
but there's a rotate.
Cheerleader and Safety.
Safety's gotten up close, spamming through the smoke, just going to be forced to drop back, and Cheerleader can't find anything in the meanwhile. Sabrina is still drawing so much attention, being a thorn in their side over at B. The Blitz is going to have to clear out as these other two players are still on site. Bomb hasn't gone down yet. And as they look to plant it, Safety's going to get one before getting traded, but Kando with the frag on a Cheerleader. Now they can plant, and now it's got to be a 1v3 from Blitz.
This is interesting. He kind of hit a timing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Sabrina knows that they were on the flank.
Oh, but they've got to be cognizant that now this is very possible. No players playing exposed to this angle. Tradition's even giving it a bit of a jiggle, a bit of a clear, and so Blitz has got to be huge here. Spots out the side of Kando, but Kando's not even going to give him the fight. This is a real rough spot. Has a kit. That's a good headshot. They know that Kando's up close, but no one's giving them battles. Tap on the bomb now. Gonna try to force someone to come around, but no one's gonna do it. Now they just have to stick. That's all that they can do, but the wrap from Sabrina secures it. Hitmen have another. Tilted Togglers have no money. And actually,
Hitmen don't really have a lot either.
Bomb blast. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's a tough round to lose, but I think that the one good thing they can look at or think about is that the economy on the side of Hitman is still very fragile. If they are able to force back here with these pistols, we've seen a couple of ecos from both sides now. If they're able to get another one going here on Ancient, then they can very quickly be back in this. And Lum does get two, but Kando has bombs. Kando doesn't even get one Thumper on the 5-7, gets a second. Traditions coming down lane, but that smoke is allowing all of them to get grouped up here and keep the bomb control with two rifles. This is unheard of. This is so bizarre.
We saw some of these rounds get really close, but they weren't really able to win them back on Mirage. But here on Ancient, they're getting things done. Now Safety goes down though, and it's Safety left up alive alone. They peek up, and Sabrina through the box is going to finish that one off. Again, it's a close round, but the lack of armor means that in the end, the duels don't go their way. So the Tilted Togglers make that one exciting, and this one should be pretty damn exciting too. Now that they've got M4s, now that Safety's got an op.
Yeah, Safety on the op here before Traditions, or anyone else for that matter, is going to be really big to see. And it's a little bit less impactful this time around, but that eco is still not great on Hitmen. It's still kind of fragile, but it doesn't even matter.
This is the first fast mid-tank. They went straight through the mollies, and it's only damage onto him.
And Kando
Lum has a double, and Kando on Cave.
Oh no.
Chili. This default is working perfectly.
We talked about the op, and they didn't get a chance until J-Man walks into them in red. They know that the last player is on B here, and it's just gonna end A. I mean, that's really unfortunate. We talked about the op getting into play, and they didn't even throw Safety a bone. There's the Kando peek as well. Gonna shut him down, and not even gonna bother taking the op. They don't even care. They don't want it. They want rifles.
If Kando Peak doesn't already exist as a Steam group, it better now.
I think Kando is definitely one of those players that they come in and they're just everyone's nightmare by the end of the season. I think that's just the kind of player that they are, and I think that if ever it has to now, like this, they are a name that's going to be historic going on into going to be historic going into the
this
future
reminds
seasons.
me of Insane back in season 6. Oh, good work there from the T's to recognize this mid push coming out from the Tilted Togglers. To be able to shut down the rest of these pistols. Damage, but no frags. And this is gonna be about it here for this eco round. Yeah, it's just reminiscent of Insane, of Wonder in season 5. I'm trying to think onwards. Seasons 7, 8. I know we've had some crazy stars, but that none come to mind that
I like to think
just as immense as Kando is.
I think Bronzy, from my time here since season 7, is the only
Oh,
player
true.
I can truly call the legend. You know,
And
truly
Bronzy's on the
call
other
that
side of the
demon.
bracket too.
Yeah, and I actually got an update looking. They actually won their first map against Yokai Cafe. They won it 16-9. I don't know whose map it was, but Gas is up map 1 after their start.
Contact on Cave. They've just got to back up. Good damage onto Traditions there from Blitz, who's also just going to fall back. Everybody making sure to play their own lives. Util exchanged. And I'd say that the T's are an advantage here with the utility and the frag, because J-Man has gotten that one, and they've gotten into A. 2 players maintain donut. 1 CT, that's Kando on the push, shut down. Okay, there's a little bit of hope onto this one, because Bomb hasn't even rotated in. And so instead, the Hitmen are going to look elsewhere. Sending Sabrina up towards mid, as they're just going to... They got to think about this one.
I
Playing
think
it safe. Oh, Tilted Togglers are hoping they overthink it.
The only worry here is that Tilted Togglers are going to gamble towards A, but that's not the case. Right now, they have a free bomb site. The only one here nearby is Safety, but Safety's so low HP, like majority of the Tilted Toggler squad. Thumper, the only one on full HP and, more than 1 bullet, to live. And that's quickly disappeared as
Oh.
Sabrina just killed them anyways from Red Room. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a save. Even with all the damage on Traditions and Sabrina, it doesn't matter. You have 3 one-shot players. Unless
Okay,
Blitz.
now they can think about this though. And unless Blitz. You're exactly right. That's a good frag safety with the timing, but J-Man spins just in time, and Lum and J-Man together win that one out. They lock down the site and they shut out the retake.
It feels like it gets super close for Tilted Togglers, where they have these rounds where one player makes a bit of a play, they look like they're back into contention, and then someone on Hitman matches it. They say, you can do that, I'll do it better, and that's exactly what J-Man does. Blitz gets his own, he gets
Anything
to a double,
you
and
can
J-Man
do,
gets...
Hitmen, Kando better.
There you go. But it does look like they're gonna they're gonna take the half buy here. Got an SMG on Thumper. Dive's gonna go down to the op. Traditions quick opener.
Ooh.
Looks like they might have an inkling of where Blitz is, but that Molly spread's kind of weird, and Blitz is gonna be able to sit on pillar uncontested.
I like the gamble rotate into B, but even more than that, I like that Hitmen are just getting out of dodge.
They know.
Immediately, they draw the attention, and Sabrina's just calling circles around the Tilted Togglers right now.
This is a round where if Tilted Togglers are able to make a difference here, they can get another buy-in and kind of force Hitmen into their economy. Only allow them to get 1 more, but with it being a 3v5, they have no more map presence. They have to all rotate through red here. Looks like a full 3v5 retake on a 5-7, a Deagle, and a 9. Tradition's low HP doesn't even matter. It's on to Blitz in the 1v5 here.
And what's Blitz gonna do? Damage, but not enough ammo. Kando shuts him down. And Hitmen, here on the T side, they're pulling through with it. 7-3 now. And this is on Ancient.
This is just, this is a round where, we say, talk about Ancient being, CT sided, but I think something to keep in mind is, like I even said, Hitmen, their best side is T. And as someone who's been on the receiving end 2 seasons in a row of a Hitmen Ancient, it is unbeatable. It is very hard to break through their, especially when Sabrina gets into the playoff mindset and they do all their studying. They have all these reads. They have phenomenal mid-round calling. It's just tough. I think that Tilted Togglers need to make something change here. Oh my lord. What a shot from Tradition.
Not a second. Thumper at least frags him down. But Lum, even while full blind, gets dives on window peek. Kando's up close. They're going to sort of realize that. But even then, Kando good damage onto Thumper. This is such a crazy back and forth. The A-main battle is won out by Chili Eater. And now the rotates are coming in. This is a B hit. But this is Safety's op.
has one, always a safe pair of hands to be locking it down. And so they're gonna just bring this bomb and bring it in towards mid. Kando looking for something and actually has a timing if they want to run in towards A. There's nobody here on the site.
Lum has 3 HP as well. That is so close. Cheerleader gonna go out of
He's
temple
going on his
here.
own though.
Safety's coming
This
late,
is
but Kando's up close. Oh, and he gets the
good
kill.
shot. Lum's low. The USP could do it. Swaps out to the op, spots him, but doesn't hit it. Thumper can be the coverage, but the issue is that neither of these two players have kits. Safety on the tap, and this is 10 seconds. Lum just has to clear it. You just have to peek once, but he's not. He thought he's called the bluff, but the stick's gonna come through. Pros don't fake, and Safety wins that one out off of a 10-second defuse.
Yeah, I mean, I will say, I think that Blitz going there and trying to chase the kill, that's a bit of the Blitz mentality of getting in the enemy's face, but it just doesn't work out there. And thankfully, Lum thought there was a bluff and thought it was a tap, but the 10-second defuse stick comes through, and Safety, the IGL, the Opper, they're the reason that Hitmen are not quite running away with things yet. It's still a bit competitive, and they need to win at least another round in the back of this.
Oh, but those are two great openings, and Blitz is traded out after one. The B site open for the taking. Bomb gonna go down. Tilted Togglers, so rough. Anytime they get anything back, Safety has a cool clutch and then is instantly headshot by J-Man. Hitmen up to 8. Broken the economy, looking like 9, maybe 10. Heck, why not 11?
This is looking very similar to Mirage. I think that I'm hoping, for the sake of Tilted Togglers, that Hitmen kind of feel how they felt against the Vikings on their last quarterfinal game, where they started getting cocky, they got a little confident, and then things started falling apart on their own CT side of the map too, which allowed a third map to be played. Tilted Togglers need to have that difference on their T side. Their CT side it looks too weak against this team. Oh, but they actually get 2 back on the pistols. Okay.
Pistol rush. Okay. Again, no armor. So again, they're gonna need some crafty headshots, and it's gonna have to be a retake on A. Bomb going down. Temple and CT control gain for the Hitmen. They don't have Donut and they don't have A main though, so this isn't gonna be easy. Spray through for Thumper is drawing attention here. 2 players Donut, 1 A main. Safety's been spotted out by Sabrina. Gonna go ahead and drop a flash, jump on up. Oh, but a good clear. Dives with some damage. The Sabrina a frag, and now Kando sprays down too. Kando, of course, is gonna do it again. Another multi-kill, another round secured, and Chili Eater's gotta back out and save. At least this time they will save something into this next round. Round 14 and 15 are gonna be pivotal. I think Tilted Togglers need both to stand a chance.
It's definitely I mean, they could hit the same scoreline they had on the first map of a 5 to 10. They win 1 and lose 1 of the next 2. But I mean, we need someone like Blitz. Blitz is really struggling here on CT side. I mean, I can tell you that looking at the stats, I do believe that Blitz has a better CT rating. So him struggling here on CT side is not a good look going to the end of this half. So hopefully some of the individuals on Tilted Togglers are able to wake up and make a difference. But Traditions is wide awake and getting an opener onto the dives here in A main. Chili Eater, I think Tradition knows because they've doubled up in this position multiple times at this point. I think Traditions is ready, and he is. Chili Eater goes down as well. 2 entries from the op. The A lurk at this point, all alone, and it's calling the B players off. They didn't even explain this, but they're just waiting. They're just waiting on B. Look at this patience called from the Hitmen.
Traditions has another kill right here. I'm calling it. And yes, Traditions onto Blitz. That is amazing, as now Kando comes up red, has a frag, and Thumper last alive. What are you even gonna do? A good first kill. That's where Lum's from, but Lum has the kill. 10 on the board, double digits for Hitman early, looking to repeat what we saw in Mirage. And well, they're just gonna need 1 more up against a stunted buy here from the Togglers. 2 M4s, 3 M4s, excuse me. A FAMAS comes out too. As it's everything the Hitmen could want and dream of. 4 AKs, an op, full util, everything on the board. Well, the Tilted Togglers have got to fight from behind. Safety coming in solo mid. The adaptation
is to throw 3 on B, and it's looking like the correct call so far, as it's a group up here from the Hitmen.
Yeah, I mean, they have full mid control, and as long as Chili Eater doesn't see anything towards A, then they can confidently keep their B players here and keep the stack. They need to, they're making noise. They're hearing Traditions, making some noise near the box, but they're doing the right thing. They're not going to just swing out and aggress and give them peeks. They're going to wait and make the T's come to them, because they've brought the fight to them too many times and just given up picks because they're just not shooting. Clicking enough heads. They're just not getting those kills that they need to be getting. So it does look like they're going to fall back here onto the site, and though. Thumper gets one and a second onto Lum. That's a great opening. That's 2 players down, all of cave control. They can focus towards ramp.
Traditions focus towards ramp, but ramp is where Traditions and Kando lie in wait. 2 frags for them each, and Traditions has the flank as well. Safety's mid control means nothing, and Thumper, alive in cave, has to do so much more and can't. Only Chili Eater left up towards CT, gonna get swung on by Sabrina. Grabs that frag, Traditions is full HP, and Kando's super low. So a possible clutch here. They're gonna smoke off short, and it looks like long is where they want to try to make this clutch. Looking into the smoke, considering going through it, and that is exactly what they'll do, but that's where Traditions holds, and it's a dink, but Traditions has the flick, and the Hitmen have 11.
That is, the domination continues. I mean, yet again, it's unbelievable. It truly, I mean, you get back into that post plane, and it's the duo doing what they do best. I said it before. I said if they can shut down Kando, then they can probably get some good rounds and actually win halves and win a map here. But Tilted Toggler, they are just not able to shut down Kando. Less dominant than it was on Mirage. Only 18 kills. Just a little bit over a one kill per round ratio, but it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a do or die. It's 4-11. They need to win this T-side pistol. If they're able to win it, I think they have a chance. But if they're not, it's gonna be a long road ahead for this comeback.
Not gonna be easy. And it's not gonna be easy here as a molly blooms in their face. The fast cave players, 3 of them, run straight through it. No respect onto that one. Sabrina's up close. Goes ahead and drops a flash, but swings into the players on lane. Traditions at least has one back with the USP. Now has fallen, but there's a player long. J-Man has another frag, and Kando's come in cave. Left and right, a flurry of frags, but a good shot there from Blitz. Them and Thumper still alive in this one, waiting to just activate as a crossfire. But Kando's picked apart the first piece of this puzzle. The last one is Thumper, and they have tucked on this long corner. Kando has an idea of it. He's gonna run up close on the clear and perforates their head. Kando, that was beautiful. That was perfect, clinical, what we have come to expect of Kando as they continue to lead the Hitmen 21-8 here in this one. Kando could do everything.
It truly is it is a masterclass. Kando is doing everything. I mean, there's a huge thing. I mean, something to keep in mind is there have been no tax called. No one's calling timeouts. I meant to mention this last stream when we watched Gas play against the decoys, but people, these losing teams are not calling enough timeouts. They need to call a timeout, get the troops in order, calm everyone down, and give themselves a chance to breathe. I mean, they're just getting strangled, and they're not fighting back.
But, I mean, how do you fight back when no matter how hard you fight, Kando just comes in clutch? J-Man up close. Here in the cave, they shut down the first. They double peek the second. 2 on J-Man's FAMAS. What can they even do? J-Man's got a third. They're looking to put on their own Kando-like performance in this round with a nice multi. Dives is still alive, and Dives led to the face, but has a frag. And J-Man, they want the ace. Tradition steals it away in the end. And that's 13 on the board for the Hitmen. Flawless here in the second half, looking to just make it a swift 16-4.
This is brutal. There's not really much I can be saying. I pulled stats, I looked at all these different things between both teams, and all I can really say is that, I guess the only thing we haven't mentioned, we talk about Sabrina, they have the most utility thrown per match in the entirety of Challenger, beating out Fuffy, you know, beating you out by one util.
By one.
And then, yeah, I mean, I talked about it earlier in the pre-match. You know, Kando and Blitz, very even. Both number one stars for this team. You know, have safety and traditions as well. They're very even, but I mean, there's just not much else to talk about other than Kando and traditions. Except for when Blitz gets a headshot, but I don't really know if that's going to do much back.
I think Blitz needs 4 more if they want to win this round, and I don't think that's happening. A tag onto Kando. Some good damage, but now Traditions is coming on the flank. Gotten both, and it's 14 for Hitmen. They only need 2 more to close it out here in the semifinals to book their ticket to the finals with confidence. I think no matter who they face, they'll be feeling good to win it all here. The Hitmen dominant so far. This isn't looking like the close game that we saw for them in the quarters. That one was shockingly close, while this one, it's nothing at all.
This is where, you know, 4-14, this is where the Tilted Togglers need to get their first round on the T side. You need to at least fight back, give a little bit of push. They need to do something here. Right now, you have them grouping up, wanting to take mid control, but Traditions is still going to get 2 before getting traded out. It's now a 3v3. Blitz was able to take one out in A main, but I mean, they need something to happen. Oh no, the timing. Dives isn't ready, and J-Man's creeping out of cave. He's going to take out one, sees Blitz, but doesn't get the frag. He's going to flash himself out, doesn't get anything else, and we're still in a 2v2 here.
Safety Blitz. There's no one else I'd rather want to try to clutch out a round like this. A 2 versus 3. Now 2v2. And they're just going to creep up here. Coming up lane together here at A main. Kando hears all the footsteps. Peeks around the side. One in the back. Going to reposition on the pillar. Now slips back into cave. And Blitz has to hunt this frag or just smoke him off. Go ahead and get that bomb down. The issue is that there's a swing up here from main. Gonna shut him down. J-Man on the headshot. And Hitmen on map, matched, and series points.
This is just so dominant. It's not even just Kando at this point. They're not gonna be 3 kills, but even people like J-Man, Traditions, they're doing their job as well. Lum on 14. I mean, it's just, there's not much to talk about. Blitz is one of the, you know, struggling a lot this game, and I think for Tilted Togglers to have any shot, Blitz needs to have that hero round like he did on Mirage, to get himself back into the game, get a few kills. Blitz needs that right now. Blitz needs that multi-kill to get himself back in, but Traditions is going for the peak against Blitz. Oh, it looks like they don't do anything, actually. They cancel it. No A main presence from the T's. Looks like A is where they want to end here. They're setting up for a decent A split if they can take Donut, but Kando, their worst nightmare, is the Donut player waiting. Lum is close by in red as well, but Kando is, you know, firing on all cylinders, and they, but it looks like Blitz might actually peek this and clear it. Oh, the gun barrel. But Kando doesn't get anything. Cheerleader and Thumper are able to get 2, and Traditions gets another one back. It's a 3v3.
Oh, this is some hope for the Tilted Togglers, but quickly snatched away by Traditions. Now they're on to B, though. There's a player in cave, that's Sabrina. They don't realize this, but no one smartly has their back exposed. Right up into mid, and Blitz wins it out. That's key, as they can converge now onto CT. Both of those frags. Sabrina slips out. Gonna molly. Oh, Sabrina's gonna stick. Running through the molly. Dives, makes the crucial play. Wins it out and keeps the Tilted Togglers alive in this one.
That double from Blitz is exactly what I meant. You know, he needs that multi-kill. He had a lot of presence, did some damage, but didn't get a kill. Stopping the B rotate, or the A rotates over, excuse me, and leaving Sabrina in a clutch. I think the pressure was the reason that they're able to get it going, you know, get something done. That's exactly the kind of Blitz we need to be seeing. Taking some presence, taking initiative, and getting those kills, you know, getting that multi-kill. At least, you know, it's just 2 that round, but 2's better than what's been going on. It does actually look like the only rifle in this round, other than Tradition's Scout, is J-Man. He's taking cave control here with Sabrina, but yet again the T's, they want to go towards the A site. They have 2 players walking into Donut here, and the other 2 meeting them outside of A main. And it does look like we're gonna get a little bit of contact here. Blitz opening onto Kando. That's what you want to see. Lum's the only one on site here, but Dives
Ooh.
gonna kill him from A main, and that's an A site.
That's an A site, but that's a headshot from Traditions. Now, in a 1v5, there's no way that they do anything else here. Maybe just a little bit more damage. Now getting wrapped around from the mid player, just stuck here completely. And I guess no one wants to overextend. No one wants to overpeak. They're just going to smoke him. Wait this one out. Keep him stuck here in Donut and grab their 6th on the board. This is something. That's something for sure.
Yeah.
They're going to need a lot more than something. They're going to need everything to go right if they want to bring us to OT.
A comeback needs to start somewhere. They got 2. You have another full buy-in coming from Hitmen. But this is, this is the road to redemption for Tilted Togglers. We've seen Hitmen. We've seen it before. They crumble under the pressure on a long streak, giving up an overtime to Vikings in quarterfinals, and it could happen again if they're not careful. It's like Kando. Oh, they don't meet. So close by the smoke.
But Cheerleader just holding, waiting for an extension that Kando's not going to give. And so they instead slip up towards red, and that is definitely a slip up because they give their head away to Traditions. Finds that frag, puts it into a 5-on-4 as the rest of the Togglers need to find something back into this. A passive setup towards B just being held onto by safety as the rest of them are looking to group and split in. Blitz has opened up on to Kando, and now they come. Now, Dives makes contact onto the Temple player. They run up forward blind onto him, and now that bomb can go down. Plant for Donut where they maintain that control. Dives gets some control of Temple. A good frag and a good one from Thumper. And now it's only 2 more to find here at CT.
Just J-Man and Sabrina. I will say the one thing we talked about the Stars going head-to-head, and that's a round where, yeah, it's on against the Pistols, not great weapons, but that's the round where where Blitz gonna get an entry or get one back at least to bring it back into a 4v4 to take out Kando, the Donut player. Even because we've seen, even on Pistols, they're still problematic. And oh man, they want to punt this, but J-Man caught sleeping at the wheel and loses a rifle. Safety gonna take out Sabrina on the B site, and that gives nothing saved over for the Hitmen. And we're seeing a bit of a comeback. This is an eco. And
I'm not gonna call it a comeback.
I won't call it
until we get further, but I'll call it the best possible situation given the round differential for the Tilted Togglers. That they get all the frags there, that they throw the economy of the Hitmen into a spot where they've got to make another save, whereas the Tilted Togglers can just build up more and more money and more confidence. These individuals have really got to step up, and right now we can see Blitz had a good entry in that round. Safety 17 and 16 leading the team. And Dives, I'd say, is doing pretty strong as well. The question is, can they be as strong as Kando and Traditions over there on the Hitmen?
My only worry is we've seen Hitmen win really, really bad buys on ecos, decos, whatever you want to say it, all these different rounds. We've seen Hitmen win these forces or these bad buys like this, and I'm hoping that Tilted Togglers don't let it slip again like it did back on Mirage. They are gonna get one on. Lum's gonna go down in the early round to Thumper, and it looks like we do have Blitz sort of sniffing out A site to see where the stack might be. But he's gonna get the kill and just back out. This B stack from the T's, they're gonna push up. The only one here that really is there to compete is J-Man, and J-Man's still in cave, so they go up ramp here. Nothing really fight.
Contact, frag. There it is. Only 2 more left. One towards cave, one here towards long in the smoke. That's Kando creeping up. Bomb gonna get planted on pillar. Kando's just waiting, searching for something. Any kind of mistake given over, Kando will get an inch and make it a mile. Right now, only a P250, so Chili Eater frags him down, and J-Man left alive with their trusty P250 here. Blitz runs past. Oh, what is this? Oh,
not another knife.
No, J-Man, second knife kill in the cave, grabs an AK and is gonna slip away. Save this in the next round. No, they can't. Blitz has come up from mid, but that knife.
That actually is scary.
Knife, I think
because that's an op. That means an op for Traditions. That's bad.
And this is just like, I think outside of the economy play, it also is just a motivator for the Hitmen. They've all got to be smiling after that one, like, all right, guys, let's close this. And that's what they're going to try to do. Smoke slant in mid, double molly, going to block off the take. Upper drops smoke into it, but they're not going to challenge pass. Instead, it's just a slow one here. As A main control, J-Man's the one to creep down to search for that. Or B main, excuse me. I know letters.
Does look like, I think that this comeback, I think that Tilted Togglers are kind of finding themselves. I know I talked about Blitz struggling. He was, I believe, at one point like 2-12 or something ridiculous, or like 4-13, and they're 15-18. They're starting to bring back that, last round they got 3 kills, and yeah, it's against ecos, but it's an eco buy. But those are the rounds you need to gain some confidence back. Just get kills, get more under your belt, so you can feel more comfortable going into those full buys. You are going to see another B hit, but oh man, the Kando rotation. I think they're doubling up in mid and potentially going over to the B site. Oh no. I think if they have a time to hit it, they need to hit it now before that mid rotate comes in on the flank.
And they've gotta go, and well, here they go. Blitzes into the site, but doesn't clear J-Man close. And J-Man spins for a second. Kando and Love also have gotten it, and so dives in a 1 versus 5. The GM for their life in this season has won, slips back away, but bomb is towards main. They're gonna creep around cave, and they're gonna look for the next fight. It's gotta be clean here on these fights, and nothing's being given away. A smoke lands in their face, with flash out forward, but Sabrina sprays down well blinded, and the Hitmen 2-0. They book their ticket to those grand finals, and they do it with ease.
Just textbook from the side of Hitmen. I was starting to believe in the comeback. They got 4, but it just wasn't enough. It was that. I mean, that was a tough fight. They almost were able to bring it back, but that's just domination from the side of Hitmen. Nothing else.
Yeah. The Tilted Togglers gave it their all. They really were trying, but they just couldn't get anything together. It didn't feel like they weren't cohesive enough as a team, and their individuals weren't fragging to the level that the Hitmen showed us here. And so they just win that one out. They get the 2-0, and they get it with confidence. They get it with swagger. And I am excited to see Kando's rating after that series, because damn, that's going to be high.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to get an interview set up. So I think we're going to cut to a short break, getting them in, getting their audio all set up, and I think we'll be back very shortly. So we'll cut to a break for a sec.
Here we find the rare bee anchor, thriving in his natural habitat, with nothing but the fresh air around him. He hears the communication of his various teammates, but does he really hear them?
Drop smokes A. I'm all it off. Ah!
Where are you? Rotate A!
But the bee anchor would not rotate. He preferred his cozy little spot here at the van. With cover from all sides and only one place to watch, the bee anchor lived a simple life. Sometimes, however, his legs would grow tired, so he would go sit on the bench. Although he lives a solemn life, the bee anchor is not devoid of cooperation. In a rare instance of team play, one of his teammates will assist him up onto the sight boxes. Once there, the bee anchor will not leave this elevated position for any reason. For if this is one of the rare rounds where he encounters terrorists, he must be ready for a fight. This, however, was not one such round, but it would happen soon. As flashes rain above from the apartments, the bee anchor grows nervous of this impending assault, but he steadies himself, pulling out his trusty Molotov. He shall stop this take in one grenade, one click of the mouse, or so he thinks. You see, things rarely go to plan here on the B site. The terrorists were upon him, ready to deal the killing blow to their prey. However, the bee anchor had one more trick up his sleeve. He steadies his hand and reaches for that one fateful button.
I think they're B.
The A and mid players are fast, used to responding to new information, just not fast enough. As his vision went white, he could start to see that place beyond. He wasn't scared. He knew his time had come. And as his corpse lay lifeless on the site, he reflected back on the memories he had in this little corner of the map, realizing it would soon be leveled by the terrorist bomb blast. It was a life well lived.
Welcome back. Yeah, we're
Hey.
back. We have an interview.
We have
got
a real person.
Yeah, we do. We actually are not talking to Ghost this time, funnily enough. Yeah. We got Kando, the star of the show, you know, the person to do it all.
Hello. I would like to say that's true, but unfortunately it is a team game, and that is not true at all. But thanks for the shout out.
Yeah, I think we can start off on Mirage. First half, you showed up great. 23 kills and did not slow down that much going on the CT side to close it out. So give us a thought of how you feel. Just go after that match.
Oh, after the Mirage game?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were hyped, especially because Mirage, I think only played it once in regulation. It was basically our permaban. And yeah, shout out to Fuffy because we played against them and got demolished. But yeah, Mirage, we just never wanted to play because their IGL just doesn't want to play at Euphoria. And so, you know, part of the thinking there actually coming out of that game was, well, you know, we won their map pick. And I think we were feeling pretty good just about Ancient in general. Like we hadn't even really prepped that much just because we've already played it a bunch in the like regular season. So yeah, I think we were just feeling really strong.
All right, feeling strong, feeling good. I want to ask you about your individual performance. I know you say it's a team game, yada yada, this and that, but the amount of clutches that you were winning, the crazy moments that were going on, did you feel something special today, or is this just like I'm just playing my game, doing my thing, just another day in the office?
I think part of it was that we knew how H4K liked to play. We only played them once, of course, in the regular season, and that was even before like they did the swap for Blitz. But even then, I think like we were looking a lot at their demos, you know, just going through kind of the motions of like feeling out how they like to play, which I think tends to be a pretty slower style than a lot of the CSC teams that we have in Challenger. So yeah, I mean, individually, I think I was just feeling great today.
Yeah, I mean, I think you showed that very, very clearly. I think going into Ancient, how did you feel? You know, did you guys mental reset? You know, 0-0, don't go in overconfident, and you know, or was it still just good vibes all around? You know, everyone feeling good and ready to win.
Yeah, no, we were just taking a quick mental break, but yeah, I mean, I think you summed it up pretty well. Like everybody there was a good atmosphere. Yeah, everybody was just having fun basically.
Yeah, I mean, I do think my next point to talk about is just Blitz. I mean, going into this game, I kind of showed off that this would be a really strong head-to-head. You know, the number 1 and the number 2 best, highest rated players in Challenger. So going into this, I was expecting it to be a bit more competitive, and unfortunately, you kind of just trounced the entirety of Tilted Togglers. But how did were you worried about him at all going into this match?
I think we definitely were. And so I think kind of going into Mirage, a map that we just didn't really play that much as a team. I think, when we were looking back at their demos and we were like, oh, Blitz likes to play Cat. He's kind of the B player. It was interesting because, we noticed that on their CT side, they started to make adjustments, like safety started to opt B. And so, kind of going off of that, like, yeah, it was like, I want to say it was an easy game just because from the scoreline, but it really was kind of a tough game, I think, from, the calling perspective, just because like we were also trying to figure out like what new stuff they were doing. But I think for Blitz specifically, yeah, I'm not really quite sure. I don't really pay attention to like the kill feed, like in the game, like in the moment, So like, I wasn't sure like if I was having a lot of like one-on-one duels with Blitz, but he was definitely like pretty strong in the Ancient game. Like I was having trouble like in the last like half for Ancient. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Blitz.
All right, I wanna do two things. I want to look backwards, and then I want to look forwards. And I want to start by looking back in time. If you think back towards the beginning of the season, as this team was forming, what were your hopes going into it? Did you think that you'd make it this far? Did you know? Were you like, yeah, we're gonna make it into these finals, we're gonna win it all, or were you more just unfamiliar and now you're the CSC demon fragging it all the way through?
Yeah, I think when we first created our team, like right after preseason ended, Euphoria or IGL, they were basically like, yeah, we're winning with this squad. And I think, we've kind of kept that up. Like, yeah, we had a few games that we lost in regular season, but I don't think we ever had a doubt that we're not the best team in Challenger right now for this season.
All right, and that segues perfectly into looking towards the future, looking towards these grand finals. You say you're the best team. That's some confidence going in to win it. So I want to sort of instead ask, right now, it's map 2. Krypton Kings are about to be up 14-8 over the Kitsunes. What are your thoughts on these potential teams that you'd be playing? Right now, it's looking like it would be Krypton Kings, and is there one that you'd rather match up against?
Did Krypton Kings win map 1?
They
They
did.
did.
They won in the
Oh,
first map
wow.
as well.
Wow, that's I want to say that's a surprise, but after seeing their performance against Decoys, I don't think it's as big of a surprise. I know they did have a couple like off games in the mid season, especially for Gas after the trade happened. And I think, like any team, it takes a little bit to gel and figure out like what positions you like to play and how you like to play the game. But I'm guessing at this point, everything is kind of well oiled on their team. So, I mean, honestly, I was thinking that Gas would win, but I didn't realize that they would win, I guess, maybe as convincingly as they are supposedly doing right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's definitely good to hear. I think for YC, I mean, again, I've actually never played them, funnily enough, because
Oh, wow.
the one game, the first game that we lost in regular season was against YC, and I was actually not there, and so we had a sub, and so Traditions, our opper, just went crazy. Like I think dropped 50 plus kills in overtime, and we narrowly lost that regular season game in overtime against YC. So it's kind of funny. I want to kind of like give my opinion on YC, but I think it would be more speculative just because I've personally never played them, and I guess maybe never will. At least this lineup.
Wow. It's an interesting one. I guess that would have been an exciting matchup, but you were right in just how hot Gas have been looking all the way through the playoffs. And so looking to that grand final, when you match up against him, how close do you think it'll be? I know, of course, you're aiming to win the whole thing.
I think it'll probably be more competitive than H4K. Like I think H4K's strength is not necessarily just pure individual like fragging, but like I've played a lot of pugs with safety. I know how kind of like he likes to play, and I think that can be that style of kind of almost like slow playing, very methodical kind of CS can be very difficult to play against, which credits to safety and his team and his calling as well. But I personally don't really know that much about Gas because I also haven't played their like current iterative team. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think it'll probably be pretty close, but yeah, I don't doubt that we're going to win Challenger this season.
I think that going into the grand finals without a doubt is exactly what you want to hear. But I think we'll shut it off here. I'm gonna appreciate you for coming on after your win for the interview, Kando, and yeah, I think we're gonna good luck into your game next Thursday.
Thank
this
you,
upcoming
thank
2
you.
days. So I think we're gonna round off the stream here. I hope everybody has a great rest
If
of
you
their
don't
night.
mind, I just wanted to shout out my teammates really quick. Traditions, Traditions, Euphoria, J-Man, and Lum. Just it's been a pleasure, and yeah, we're gonna win Challenger this season. Finally, get that trophy for Euphoria. So yeah, just looking forward to it, and tune in on Thursday.
Yeah, tune in on Thursday.
All right, thank you, everybody. Bye. Thank you.
All right. Well, Oma, as we get to closing things up here, this was a fun one, a wild game. Even though the scoreline was dominant, those rounds were crazy. Those were that was amazing. That was some real fun. And now we get to look forward towards this Thursday. These grand finals, it's going to be a fun one, and we've got a little bit of a special broadcast planned. I know, given this is the very last final of the season, we're going to be putting in some extra work on this one.
Of course, always. Yeah, so we actually have something that's going to be kind of a cool little pre-show to go along with our little desk segment that we normally do beforehand. We're actually going to be, the plan right now is to actually do a small live podcast episode, obviously with Fuffy and myself. And we're going to bring on some challenger players who've played against the finalist teams, most likely the teams from, Hacker Haven. And actually, we already know Score's got, the other game finished up. We know it's going to be the Krypton Kings facing off against the Hitmen in the grand finals. So we're going to take some players from the Kitsunes, take some players from the Tilted Togglers, bring them on, hear about their predictions, their feeling for this grand final, what they think is going to happen, who they think is going to have the pop-off potential. And yeah, it's going to be a cool, fun little pre-show to lead into Thursday.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. I think everybody should mark the time on their calendars, jump in the stream a little bit early to get the pre-show, the analysis desk, the game. Everything's going to be hype. We're going to build and build to this because, dang, this Challenger season is looking like a hot one. It is HG taking on Gas. It is the Hitmen taking on those Krypton Kings, and it is all going to be going down this Thursday. But for now, I think that's all, Oma. So
yeah,
it's time that we just say to all y'all CSC peeps or not tuning into the stream just to have a good night.
Yeah, have a great rest of your night.
I still rage against the I'd rather be a dreamer, I'd rather be free, I'd rather be a leader, I'd rather be a queen, I'd rather be a singer in a trashy cover band. I'd rather be a closer, I'd rather be clean, I'd rather be a poser in a magazine, I'd rather be pretty much anything else than your machine. What you think about when you're born into a fight?